actually feel like he's very strong if this is your dad. So the energy of this spirit feels to be, as a dad, one who is like, I'm going to do whatever I have to do for my family. Like, I love my family and I'm going to do whatever the heck it takes. Was he a very hard worker?
He was a very hard worker, yeah.
I feel like very much so that he doesn't give me this energy of just like, oh, you know, I'm going to drag my feet and go to work every day. And
well, he was that way, but he didn't stay that way.
Okay, I gotcha. Well, the energy he gives me about his work ethic is that it was...
Do it right the first time.
Yes, like my family needs food, they need a house to live in, like I'm going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Let's see. And it's okay if you cry, because I'm used to that, so plenty of tissues if you need it, okay? All right, so when you say the number 4, it's because it's you, your brother, and your mom?
It's, yeah, me. I only have one sibling,
so
you know, it would just be the 4 of us.
4 family, okay.
He also has 3 sisters, and it was the 4 of them.
Okay.
But he was the black sheep.
Okay, so number 4 does make sense in some way.
Mm-hmm.
And then the C, it would only be for Cameron? That you can think of?
That's the only C I can...
Yeah.
Because my son's only 12 months old. He was only 6 months old when my dad died.
Okay.
And I didn't even get a single picture of him.
I'm sorry. Does your son have a lot of hair?
Yes.
Is it a dark hair?
It's
like light.
It's like kind of like you are like in the middle.
Oh, okay.
So,
all right.
And it's just very fine, like.
Sure. Okay. That's kind of what I'm seeing, but like I don't see black hair. No, you know what I mean? Like
my
pitch
dad
black.
had like a Don Caesar. Like if he let it grow out, it was very fine, and that's what my son's hair looks like. It's very fine hair, like my dad.
Okay.
And that's the hair I got. I got the fine hair.
Okay. Because he's mentioning, like, the baby has a lot of hair, but it's almost like he's going like this to the baby's head.
And it just
moves and then it comes right back to how it's... Yeah, okay. Yeah. He's mentioning that, if this is your dad. But I feel so whenever I'm doing a mediumship connection, it's energy exchange. So your energy is connected to mine is connected to him, and he's connected to you, right? So there's like a little triangle, and I typically can tell by the connection if it's correct.
Okay.
But I always give as much evidence as possible for the client to know that for sure this is who we're connecting with. But I do feel that it is correct. I'm going to keep going here. Is your brother younger than you?
Yes. Not that much.
What is he trying to tell me about your brother? I don't know, he mentioned your brother, so now I'm trying to figure out why. Like, okay, tell me what you want me to know.
We do not have a relationship right now.
You don't? Interesting.
We didn't really have one in our teen years because of my dad.
Okay. Just the way he just is like, you know, your brother's younger than you, but then he's not really saying anything else. So I'm trying to pry it from him. What are you trying to tell me? It's almost like he's just like, just mention it.
I know he's younger than me. He acts like it too.
Yeah. Okay, is your brother, like, not doing very good? Like,
mentally?
No, like, does he hold a job well?
Oh, yes. He got the work ethic from my dad.
Okay.
He has multiple businesses.
Okay.
He did recently just get hurt at work, but...
Okay.
His marriage is a nightmare.
Okay.
His wife is psychotic. Can't stand her.
Okay.
And he does have a son.
So he's not doing well.
And I don't think he's mentally doing well because of my dad. And he hasn't really fully accepted it.
Sure.
He doesn't cope well. I don't think he has any coping mechanisms. the work is this coping mechanism.
Okay. Because what I'm getting more whenever I said no about the mental is that it was almost more of like, basically that he's not stable. So being that maybe he's drinking, or maybe he's doing something like that, or maybe he's just not working, or maybe he's, you know what I'm saying. So like there could be different ways to interpret not doing well.
He does like odd jobs. Like he doesn't have like a solid job.
Okay.
He does like an odd job here and there.
I gotcha. Okay.
And the marriage with the child, and it's just a lot, I think. So.
Okay.
And then me and him.
Does he have a daughter?
A stepdaughter.
Okay.
It's not his child that he took up in as his own.
Okay.
For 2 years before he got married.
Okay, so Dad says that's why he stays?
Probably. Because of her, or
because of the stepdaughter? Because he has a son?
With this woman.
Okay. It's almost like if he goes, he gets to take his son too. Do you know what I mean?
He would take his son, but he would lose her.
Exactly, is what your dad's giving me. Like, the reason why he's staying in any type of situation like that, it's almost like Dad wants you to understand him better. It's weird.
I would love to.
It's weird to me, because they don't normally try to, like, mediate between the two people living. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he's just sort of being like, you got to understand the reason why he's not leaving is because the stepdaughter, and yeah, he has a son, but if he leaves, he gets to take the son. He can't take the stepdaughter. That just kind of like breaking it down on what he's giving me there.
So he like feels that it's actually his real daughter. He doesn't want to lose that. That makes sense.
See, I know you say that your brother, like, has the same work ethic and all of that, but I feel like you have your stuff figured out more than he does.
I do.
Okay, so that makes sense to you, because I'm getting that energy of, like, he's almost giving me, like, the brother's life is just...
He doesn't have to worry about me.
Okay, I gotcha.
Growing up, he didn't worry about me, so I handled it for myself. But I'm a nurse, I'm married, I bought my own home, I paid for my own wedding, I have a happy marriage, and a beautiful child. I know how to figure that out.
Sure, yeah.
And I got that from my dad.
Gotcha.
That work ethic. The stubbornness, determination is from Dad.
Okay. Okay, so when it comes to your mom and your dad, either they were not together or...
cohabitating.
That makes sense to you? Because it's like a weird feeling to me. It doesn't feel like they're completely not together.
No.
But at the same time, that they're not married or not in a relationship.
They were married. They're married still. But okay. I don't know what happened, but my dad did some some things, and then he started drinking a lot, and she just watched the person that she married and fell in love with kind of turn into this Jekyll and Hyde version of themselves. But she stayed for the kids, and we moved from New Hampshire, where our whole life was, to Florida, so she had nothing. Okay. So she wasn't gonna.
Right, just up and leave. Yeah.
But they had stayed in the same house. My mom stayed in my room after I left.
Okay.
They cohabitated. She would go to work and then come hang out with me, get out of the house, but they never slept in the same room.
Okay.
In the 15 years I've been with my husband, I think he said he only saw them kiss once.
Oh, really?
And he had to force them to do it. But they would still sit on the back porch and have coffee together every morning, so they weren't like nasty to each other, but they just didn't have a
loving relationship.
My mom will always love him.
Sure, yeah.
But she can't get past some stuff, I guess.
Yeah. Makes sense. Alright, what else? So, interestingly, I do feel he's referencing his liver.
That's funny.
But I don't feel, is that how he passed? Because I don't feel it's related to his passing, but I do feel that there's something with the liver.
Multi-system organ failure.
Okay. So the liver could make sense.
Kidney, liver, heart, lungs, all at the same time. And by the time we got him to the hospital, it was too late. His body couldn't handle dialysis. But yeah, he was a drinker.
I was just gonna say about the liver. Usually when they mention the liver to me, it's because of something to do with drinking and alcoholism.
And he had a very round belly, but he was not fat, and it was probably because his liver was enlarged.
Okay, all right. Because he didn't give me that the liver specifically, just his liver was why he died.
No.
Do you know what I mean? But he did mention that, and usually when they do, it's because of drinking.
Yes. It was a very big problem. That's the reason why I don't drink or my brother.
Let's see. Was this very sudden? Like, you guys didn't expect it, and then all of a sudden, like, he's fine, and then he's not?
Yep. I was at work. Oh, it was back in May when I came back from maternity leave. He always called me if something was wrong. So I'm a nurse, and I'm and he doesn't know anything and doesn't want to ask my mom. So he called me and was like slurring his words. And first thing, what do you think?
Drunk.
Drunk. But then it was my first shift going back from maternity leave, and I was already anxious as hell leaving my child at home. And he was like, I just don't feel something's wrong. I don't feel right. He's like, he's like slurring his words. He's like, I can't even get out of bed. He's like, I'm really scared. And then he starts crying. So when I hear that, I'm like, something's wrong. So I called my mom, and she was at my house with my husband, but she was watching my child that day. I said, you need to leave now and go check on Dad.
Yeah.
And she's like, what do you mean? I was like, he's slurring his words, not making sense. She goes, he's just probably drunk. And I'm like, Mom, I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
I was like, I've called the neighbors, nobody's home. I've called the other neighbor, they can't get there. I was like, and if I call 911 for him, they can't get in the house and he can't get up. I was like, I said, go now. And Mom, if you don't do this, I will never forgive you. Go.
Yeah.
And so she went home, and he was like almost incoherent, unconscious. And the EMTs got to the house and took his blood sugar. It was like 30. So his blood sugar was really, really low, like almost dead.
Yeah.
And then after that, he was fine for a couple months. And then July, he told my mom like on a Sunday or something that he didn't feel very well. He thought he might be getting like a cold or something like that. And then she got home from work, and he wasn't making sense. Like, she was like, okay, I'm going to bed, and he was like talking to himself. She thought he was talking to himself, or he was like, yeah, okay, whatever. She thought he was talking to her, but he was talking to himself. And then when she got back home, she was like, yeah, I'm gonna take him, just, he's not making any sense, like, he is mumbled, it's like, it's weird. Sure. So she got him to the hospital, and then they were like, he's septic. His liver, like, kidney, liver, everything's out of whack. He's like almost incoherent. And then my mom went home to get like his medication list and pack a little bag of clothes for her to stay the night, and they had called her and said, he is very sick, we have to intubate him, are you okay with that? And then she called me when she was at home saying, hey, I brought your dad to the hospital earlier to get him checked out. He said he wasn't feeling good, but they just called me and said they have to intubate him. What does that mean? I dropped my fork, I packed a bag, I had just gotten home from my 12-hour shift, put my child to bed, and literally picked up my food. And she called me. I dropped and I got my stuff, and I fucking went to the hospital. Because she doesn't know anything either, and I want to know what's going on.
Right.
And I can see what they're doing.
Exactly.
And when I got there, I was like, what is going on?
Yeah. Completely.
That is not, yeah, he was being combative, he was screaming. They couldn't get him like controlled or sedated or anything. And then once I got there, and I went up to him and like told him I was there, I think he calmed down a little bit. I don't even know if he knew I was there. But then my mom made me healthcare proxy because she doesn't know anything, and she knows that I would probably do what was best for my dad, but I wouldn't let him suffer.
Right.
And that was at like 8:45 at night we got there. I stayed till 4 a.m. until they got him up to the ICU. And they said, we're going to try dialysis. Go home, change your clothes, get some rest, and we'll call you with an update. And they called me by 10 a.m. and they were like, you need to get your family up here. He coded during the dialysis. I don't think his body's going to tolerate it. And without it, he's not going to last long. So I had to call my brother, or had my mom call my brother, and we dropped everything and ran. And within, by 2 p.m. he was gone.
It's very sudden.
So it's 12 hours if that.
Very, very, very sudden. So his answer to if he knew you were even there, he gives me that in reality, no, not really. But with energy, he could tell that you were there. But in his mind, his human mind, it was not where it should have been.
Right.
So energy-wise, because we're obviously made out of energy, right. And whenever we are in spirit form or physical form, it doesn't matter, our energy still connects. If we know one another. He's giving me that once you came into the room, he could feel the energy of you being there. But in his mind, his human mind, right. It was not, he couldn't function enough to be able to speak to you or tell you, I know you're here. You know what I mean?
He calmed down and I held his hand and he squeezed my hand. And I said, Dad, I know that you can't say anything right now, but before they intubated him, I had to ask. Squeeze my hand if you want me to do everything that I can for you.
Yeah.
He squeezed my hand a little bit, like his fingers switched.
Yeah.
And I said, you promise me, after they intubate you, you fight. You have to fight to wake back up. I was like, you have 2 beautiful grandbabies that need you.
Yeah.
That need you. And then a tear rolled down his eye. And then I played the song that we danced to at my wedding. And then I had to get out of the way.
Yeah.
But that's what I needed to know, that he knew,
sure.
I will do everything if that's what you want.
Yeah. Let's see, what is it? So the hand twitch, yes, was his answer. The tear, he's admitting to you that the tear was sort of his way of being like, I know I'm not going to be able to fight this. Somehow he knew. So he wanted you to try everything you could, but you trying to get him to be strong once he was intubated. He's like, I'm going to try, but I don't feel like it's going to make a difference. But he couldn't say that to you. Right. And he didn't want you to feel that.
I felt like it was because he knew his grandchildren were going to be without him, and that makes me very sad. And he loved those boys.
So he says, well, first of all, you said loved, and he goes, loves. Okay.
Well, your dad's
He's making sure you are reassured. No, he loves those babies. But what he is also reassuring you is that he knows them.
Okay.
He knows them. He's with them. Do you ever notice your son making gestures or looking at certain things or giggling out of nowhere, anything like that?
He always wants to play with pictures. And I have a picture of my dad in his room, and there's something that I associate my dad with that I have a lot of now, and I put some of it in Cameron's room so that I feel he's there.
Sure.
And he wants to just keep picking them up and playing with them. And I do that so that I feel like my dad is watching over.
Sure, yeah. And he is. He wants you to be reassured of that. Not even, wait a minute. Have you ever noticed, whatever this is, be moved or not in its place, and you thought it was maybe your son picked it up and moved it?
I mean, I moved so much. There's so much stuff that...
I'm talking specifically what you put in his room.
Yeah.
Because Dad is giving me, almost like he's showing me that he has moved it to get your attention, but you don't see it. You think it's your son.
Okay.
having moved it or picked it up. Does that make sense to you?
Kind of.
Okay. That's what he's telling me. I'm not sure what it is, but
a whole tree?
It's like
there's rocks. There's a bookshelf with rocks.
Do you have okay, hold on, wait. This could be the rocks, but I feel something like a dinosaur.
Shut up.
Yeah? Is it?
That's really funny. There was a dinosaur that was like sitting on the top corner of his bed as a plush one, and I kept finding it on the floor. He kept pushing it off the thing. So then I was like, fine, I'll put it on a shelf. Now it's on a shelf. My dad's picture's above it.
So then that's your dad, who's been moving the dinosaur.
Really?
Just trying to get your attention.
All I did was replace it with something else, and now it hasn't moved.
It's okay. He understands. It's, it's almost like for them, they understand that it's weird to people that don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? So he's just like, okay, well, that's fine. She doesn't understand that it's me.
I literally just thought Cameron reached up and swatted it.
No. Because so I said it could be the rocks because, dinosaurs, fossils, rocks, whatever. But no, he was specifically giving me a dinosaur. So I had to say at least that. So if it was a little stuffed dinosaur moving, then it's Dad.
Okay.
Yeah. He's there.
Okay.
He's with your son. He does watch over him. And it's funny because I don't know if your dad would have been like this in his physical form, but he's doing like weird faces, you know what I mean? Like this and sticking his tongue out, all of that, crossing his eyes at your baby.
Absolutely. He did dumb shit like that.
Okay. Well, he's showing me even now.
Kim. My mom's like, shut up.
He's talking like a little baby to him.
Exactly.
Yeah. But he's still doing that.
Okay.
To your son, trying to entertain him and get his attention and stuff. Your son knows him, and he knows your son. Okay. Your son can't speak yet?
He babbles. He's 13 months old.
Okay. So
we heard him say Papa, but I didn't know if that's what my dad would have gone by. We figured it was from Moana because Moana calls her dad Papa.
Oh, okay. I don't.
But his first word was Dad.
No, that wasn't for him. Papa, whatever, was from like a show or something. Okay. But because he's gonna be no, he didn't say that about me.
D, or like nah.
None of those are for your dad.
Okay.
So he's not speaking to your dad when he says those words, but he does. It's like I can see them actually together. Mm-hmm. So your dad, you can't see him, but he's there with your son, just as if your son is there, and you can see your son. You just can't see him. Does this make sense to you?
Yes.
So he's there.
What is the?
Interesting.
And he grabs my nose.
Your dad is actually the one that's teaching him the clicking sound. Yeah, he's teaching him that.
My mom does it too.
It's like, he also shows me snapping his fingers, like he's trying to teach him how to snap. He's trying to teach him how to click his tongue.
That's so funny because he walks around and he does this.
Does he?
He does this.
So Dad is trying to teach him these things.
Okay.
So he loves his grandbabies, and he is with you. So he also gives me that he does visit your brother and, sees his son and all of that. So he bounces. Mm-hmm. He doesn't stay in one place.
Right.
He'll stay in one place for a little bit of time before he goes to the next, but for the most part, he just kind of bounces around. Your mom doesn't live with you?
No. She lives in their house that they had together.
What's up with that? Hold on just a minute. It's interesting because normally, so they are respectful of our space and our energy and our boundaries. They are respectful of that. But I feel like your mom wouldn't have ever said, I don't want you to visit me.
No. She still loves him.
Right. But it's almost, he's giving me almost like he doesn't visit her as much because of boundaries or respect, which is interesting to me because I don't feel like he's ever been given the impression of, don't go to my house, don't visit me, none of that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But for some reason, and I almost see him like showing me, this might sound creepy. Maybe don't tell your mom though. If she's sleeping, he's like kind of standing in the doorway watching her sleep because he wants to go and be in love on her and stuff like that, but he feels like he can't. It's like there's a boundary.
My mom is the most stubborn person ever and won't ask for help. She, recently she had something happen to her too, and she needs help, but she won't ask for it. So
maybe that's it. I'm not sure, but he's showing me specifically like he does visit her and watches over her, making sure that everything is okay to the best of his abilities.
Right, of course.
But he doesn't go to her while she's in bed or drinking her coffee or whatever because he doesn't want to overstep a boundary or be disrespectful. I'm not sure why that is.
Okay.
But he does watch her and wants to. He says he loves her, and he feels very awful the way things turned out at the end, which I'm sure I can tell her those parts of the conversation. But
yeah, I've never seen my mom that distraught. Like, she was hyperventilating, and I don't think she was like ready for how fast it was.
Yeah, sure. I may have to get your mom to give me to give him permission, to come and like be and console her and like love her and stuff because seems to be. It's even like he's showing me as if he's using his arm and going like there's a boundary.
I think he always just felt that living in that house because they never touched, never sat on a couch together.
Okay.
She was always cold and callous and seemed like he was just the most annoying person in the world to her.
So that's probably why then, because
she made him feel like he was not wanted, and like she didn't want him coming to my gender reveal, or she was like, "Why do you gotta invite your dad?" I'm like, "Cause he's my dad."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like he didn't do anything. Like you can choose when people do things to you, Mama. Like you can choose to be nasty forever, but that takes way too much of my energy.
Yeah, for sure.
I could be really nasty to him for some of the stuff he did to me growing up, but I'm not.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Did he not spend a lot of time at home?
My dad?
When you were younger?
When I was younger? Like a child?
Yeah.
We had a nanny.
I feel like he's giving me, he wishes he had spent more time at home. Like he specifically wouldn't be at home as often as he should have been.
He worked a lot too, but it's hard, I don't really remember, no.
Well, he is saying he wishes he had given more of his time to you guys. Especially you.
Yeah.
Especially you.
I didn't get anything.
Did he make you feel bad for playing with girly things or doing girly things?
No.
What is he showing me then? Oh, maybe this is more of just like, that's why he didn't do a whole lot with you because you did girly things. Did he spend a lot more time with your brother?
Yeah.
Did they do boy things together?
I mean, yeah, but he taught me how to ride he bought me my first snowmobile, and like we did that together, and but what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I know, Dad, I don't want to build a house.
Exactly, yeah.
I don't want to ride a dirt bike. I don't.
Yeah, that's kind of what it's giving me, is that thing, almost like you didn't have things in common like he did with your brother.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm a girl.
Yeah, exactly. So he's kind of apologizing for that, like.
He also never taught me how to change a tire. I still don't know if she's a child.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't either. Usually they don't say like negative things for the most part where they are, but he is saying that he failed you. Not that you're bad or you failed in life, but just that he did fail you in certain things. Does that make sense to you?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Different perspective, I guess, now is that looking back, he could have spent more time with you teaching you those types of things. And it's interesting because I don't feel like he was a fisher, but he's saying stuff like, I could have taught her how to bait a hook. I could have taught her how to, do this, do that. That sort of thing that would have been more what Dad would teach a child.
Right.
Okay, he wants you to tell your husband to not fail your guys' son. Teach him. Teach him things. Like all the things that he can. And I think he's using that word because, for one, to him it feels like he failed. And for two, because that is the description or word that he can give for how much he didn't do or teach you. So he wants your husband to make sure he does that for your son. Teach him things.
Is there anything else about my husband that he said?
Let me see.
My husband was there too when he passed.
Did your dad look at your husband?
I don't know.
I feel like
his eyes were like, I mean,
they were closed?
I closed them actually.
Before he passed?
After.
Because I feel he's showing me his eyes looking directly at your husband as a way to communicate, take care of her. Do you know if
we've not.
You wouldn't know?
I have not had a conversation with my husband. No. My husband doesn't handle death very well, but he loved my dad.
I don't know if your husband would even realize that that's what was happening, but you can ask him, hey, do you remember my dad looking at you? Or did it even look like he was looking at you? Because he's showing me he was trying to communicate to him with his eyes to take care of you and your son.
Okay.
Did your dad ever say anything about your husband being a better son than his actual son?
Kind of, yeah. They were closer.
Okay.
They did things together, my dad and my husband. Like, they liked to cook. They got along. Sean and him spent time together, like...
Yeah. Like, I don't know if you want to share this with your brother, even though, because I know you don't talk, but...
I would share it with my husband, not my brother.
Okay, because he's kind of giving me that impression as he felt like your husband was more of a son to him than his own son.
At the end, yeah.
Yeah, like he's like, you're the better son than my actual son was.
He felt loved by my husband.
Yeah.
My brother was just...
Whenever you said that, my brother was just, he goes like shrugged his shoulders and was like, like rolled his eyes like.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's just scary.
Let's see. Are you planning on having another baby?
Shut the fuck up. I was literally just running that through my mind. I thought I was pregnant the month after my dad died. And I was like,
really?
I was like, if I'm pregnant, that's dad. I was like, that is dad.
Yeah.
I'm pregnant again.
Reincarnating.
It actually took us 3 years to get pregnant with Cameron. And we thought we were going to have to do IVF. And my dad actually gave us his entire work bonus to go towards it. And then we actually ended up getting pregnant naturally. And we were going to give him the money back, and he told us to keep it for Cameron. I would love another baby, and I already have a name in my head. And
is it for a girl?
Yeah.
You're gonna get your girl baby.
I don't want a girl, but.
Well, I mean, I don't know. He's giving me something about a girl baby.
Alright, Dad. Soon? Cameron's only 13 months old.
No, I don't feel soon. He almost goes, like slow down. What are you talking about? Because when you ask soon, it's like, no.
Yeah, Cameron's wild.
Yeah, no, he says, no, not soon, but he's giving me a girl, like, that's all, like, are you trying? Did you get pregnant? Are you pregnant? Like, why is he talking about a girl baby?
Well, like, every month my period's been, like, weird, off, and late, and, like, so I'm tracking it now more, and, like, my husband doesn't know when I know if I'm ovulating or not. Like, I know.
Yeah,
but he doesn't need to know.
Exactly.
So if it happens, it happens.
Happens, yeah. Well, Dad's smiling about it, so.
Don't watch us, Dad.
No, they give us our privacy. 100% they give us our privacy. Yes. I mean, if they can choose to go to another family member's house, they can choose to not watch us when we do things that would be weird to our family. That's funny. He almost, like, covered his eyes like he's embarrassed after you saying that. Like, like, I'm not going to do that. Let's see.
Oh, and my husband gave the speech at his memorial, too. I just forgot about that.
That your husband gave the speech at his memorial?
I didn't really have, his best friend gave the eulogy-ish, but my husband, I told him just to go tell everyone thanks for coming, and it turned into a sad ramble.
Okay.
A heart ramble.
Yeah.
And I was like, but my brother should have been the one to do that.
Yeah.
And he wasn't.
What's funny is that your dad goes, okay, this is actually kind of funny.
My dad is funny.
So he's showing me as if he's at his own funeral, and he's standing off to the side, and he's, like, got his hands behind his back, kind of, like, just standing there very polite.
The grandpa stance.
Like, very polite, just watching it as if he's there watching somebody else's funeral. It's just like, I'm just being real respectful, and then...
we were having fun.
And he's like, but this is my body. Like, why am I standing here trying to be all respectful? This is my body, you know? And then he's, like, changed it, but it was just funny to him, and he's making me laugh about it, actually, how it, like, at first, he was trying to be quiet and respectful of a funeral. And then he was like, wait a minute.
Right.
This is for me.
Right.
Like, and then he changed
it. We got him cremated, so it was like an urn with pictures, and it was very somber at first, and we had some music and, like, a slideshow playing, and then it turned into taking shots of Jack Daniels.
Nice. Okay. That's awesome.
Which was my dad's favorite.
Yeah. But he's giggling or making me laugh even, because he's showing me specifically with his hands behind his back trying to be respectful, just like, I'm just going to sit here and, be nice and respectful for somebody's funeral. And he's like, wait a minute.
That's what everyone was doing. And like, this is not what Dad would have wanted.
Yeah.
His sister even came, who he didn't have a relationship with.
All he said to that was nice of her.
It was. She's checked on me a few times, and she feels bad.
Does she?
Yeah, he didn't even know his dad died. His dad had died. No one told him.
It's awful.
We weren't close with them.
Let's see. Do you have more questions for him?
Well, I'm happy to know that he's watching over Cameron.
Yes, very much so.
And that, he approves of Sean, obviously.
Yes. Yes, very much so.
Another baby. Jesus Christ. I
mean, of course, we have free will.
Well, no, I want another baby.
Okay. Because I was going to say, if you don't want one, you can always make sure it doesn't happen.
Right.
But according to Dad and the way he is talking about it, it's like he is smiling ear to ear because he's going to have a grandbaby girl.
And it won't be my brother. If he has another baby with her, he's stupid.
Yeah.
And I know my dad did not like her.
Mm-hmm.
And I was gonna put my foot down for some things with the memorial and even her being in the room when he passed. But I did it for my brother, to have her there, and I did it for my mom to not cause drama.
Sure.
But I bit my tongue hard.
Yeah.
And my dad knows I am a fireball
when
it comes to my family. And it wasn't even 4 hours after we left the hospital that me and her got into a fight.
Like physical fight?
It would have been if I didn't have her baby in my arms.
Oh, shit. Your sister-in-law?
Yep, my brother's wife.
Damn.
And then it turned into my brother saying that I'm a control freak and that, it's my, like, that I am controlling everything. And I'm like, Mom, do you not realize that Mom designated that to me?
Exactly.
I chose to turn off the medication because he was not coming back.
Yeah.
I chose to do that because Mom asked me to. But my mom wants to play Switzerland. She won't
admit.
She won't, like, pick a side. And I'm like, I did nothing wrong.
You didn't do anything wrong. In fact, Dad is saying you did what you needed to do.
I did what I didn't want to do it.
Of course.
But I wasn't going to let my dad suffer.
Exactly. You did what you needed to do, what you had to do.
And I handled, I made sure that mom was good because my dad made sure that Mom was good. But I made sure that she had access to the things that he had done for her. And the first thing my brother did was go to the house and go in my dad's room and start cleaning out his stuff. And took his gun home. I'm like, why are you taking things?
Like, give it a second.
Well,
Jeez.
I was like, why is that yours?
Mm-hmm.
That really hurt my feelings. I was like, why is the gun yours?
Right.
Like, there's no will.
Yeah.
It's because I'm the boy, I'm the son. And I'm like, he has 2 grandchildren that are boys.
Yeah.
You don't know what he wants done with any of this stuff. Don't just pause.
Yeah. Don't be touching stuff.
That's just how my mom's like. That's just how he's dealing with this. It's just throwing stuff away. And I was like, okay, well, to me that means get him out of here, and that's what I don't like.
Yeah. So your dad wants to reassure you that that stuff is just stuff. So
I took some stuff.
Yeah.
I have some stuff.
Well, to him, it's just stuff. So he doesn't want you to feel resentful towards your brother for taking anything or what have you, because to him, he has no use for it now.
Right.
It's whatever, it's for you guys, it's here,
Well, I'm sentimental, that's why.
Yeah, and that's okay. Did you turn something of his into something else? Or have you thought about doing that?
My mom's gonna make a quilt with his t-shirt.
Quilt, okay.
She likes to sew. I took his cell phone and I kept his cell phone and I use it some nights as the baby monitor.
Nice.
And I put him to sleep every night to Danny Boy, which is a song that his grandmother used to sing to him. That's my way of putting him in the room with Cameron.
He says you don't have to do that to put me in the room with Cameron, but I like it.
I like the song too.
He's like, I like it, but just know I'm going to be here no matter what.
And I took his ashes and I put them in this little necklace.
Oh, you have it on for you?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. So you took a little something at least and made it into something else for him. Okay.
And I wear it, and then when I'm not wearing it, I put it in my car. So.
Mm-hmm. He does want you to know that you're his baby girl, and he's sorry he didn't give you. Is that what he says? He calls you his baby girl. That's what he's calling you now. He says you're my baby girl, and he's sorry he didn't give you more.
Oh my god. But the urn the urn. We all got big mini urns, and my mom got a big one and a mini one. And on mine, it's engraved that says, "I'll always love you, baby girl." And the funeral home gave me that for free. She didn't have to, but I wanted something that said "baby girl" on it.
He's calling you baby girl.
Oh my god, that's creepy.
Creepy?
Yeah. It's just creepy that you said it, because nobody would know that.
Yeah.
I have all these voicemails, I save them all, even though some of them are stupid. But I have like screenshot pictures of, texts of how excited he was that Cameron was going to be coming and my grandbaby, and I have a picture of the gender reveal of him in the background, like, yeah, it's a boy.
Yeah, it's a boy. Aww. Well, he does love you very much.
I love him too, and I miss him. I'm sad that he's not going to be here to, physically be here.
Right.
To watch Cameron grow up, and
yeah,
because I would have let him be in their lives.
Sure.
No problem. My husband went and picked him up from the house to bring him to the gender reveal because my mom wouldn't take him, and they live in the same house.
He doesn't feel resentful toward your mom or anything.
No, because he probably knows that he made her that way.
So he doesn't want you to be mad at your mom either about it.
I'm not mad at her. I don't want to hear her speak of him.
Yeah.
Ill. I don't ever want to. I don't want to hear her. And I never wanted to hear that. Oh, he's so fucking annoying. Or, oh, why don't I don't want him there. Blah blah blah. I don't care what you want.
Right. It's not about you.
I want him here. He didn't do anything to me.
Right.
Be better or be better. I'm gonna be better.
Right. Exactly.
And I was giving him a second chance to make things right with me for not spending quality time with me during my childhood.
Right.
It wasn't hateful to him for that.
Right. And he recognizes that, right? And just overall does not want you to be mad with your mom about how things were. He says it's in the past now.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter anymore.
No, but I still don't like when anyone speaks ill
of course.
Of him.
Of course not. That's your dad. He just wants you to remember that he loves you. And no matter what anybody else says, does, feels, none of that. It does not affect how he loves you and the kind of relationship you have had, will have with him. You can still have a relationship with him, just in a spiritual way.
I'm trying to think of, I think of it when I'm parenting Cameron, or like, how he's going to act, and
Sure.
I was like, I wonder if he's going to have that personality of me and my dad, that stubborn personality, that I'm quiet, but if you mess with my family, you're done. And that's how my dad was. It was family over everything. And I'm very big on that.
Yeah.
That's why I'm very upset that my brother and I can't seem to get it together.
Yeah.
We found Chris. We did multiple sessions with Chris.
Oh, the girl that works here?
Yes.
I've never met her.
She's my therapist.
Really?
Because I'm under card.
Oh, okay.
But we will not see eye to eye on certain things, and I can't make him leave a situation that's toxic for him, but I can't bite my tongue about certain things related to his wife, who I just don't. I know he did not like her.
No, he did not. But he also wants you to not carry that burden.
But then I'll never have a relationship with my brother.
He doesn't want you to carry the burden.
It's just too heavy. It's energy that I don't have, and it's energy that's not matched. I went to their son's birthday party. They didn't come to Cameron's.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could say your dad tells you it's going to get better, keep trying, but honestly, your dad is telling you it's not a burden you need to carry.
Yeah. I'm not nasty to him, but
no, of course not. But
I've extended the olive branch, and he knows that if he were to call me, I would literally be there in a second.
Yeah.
And I would drop anything and come for him.
Yeah.
But as far as like me, him, like our boys and them, it's not gonna.
Yeah.
Which is sad because that's all my mom has now.
Yeah. Exactly. But your dad does not seem to want to reassure you that he's ever going to change or he's ever going to come back around in a different way. It's kind of just like it is what it is. It's going to be what it is.
He's stubborn, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't make him leave. I can't, make his environment healthy.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But I'm not going to drain my energy.
He wants you to focus on Cameron more than your brother. I'm not saying that's what you are doing, but just as like a reassurance, like you're doing what you need to do to focus on your son. Your brother is his own adult, his own human being. Right. He can do what he's going to do, and honestly, he's probably never going to come around or change in a better way. So don't put all that burden on you.
Yeah, I told myself that I would not let Cameron be like my brother because my brother is very secluded, never talks about emotions, and I'm very big on speaking about how you feel, and I want Cameron to not be a baby,
right?
But I want him to be. It's okay to cry.
Yeah.
It's okay to tell me how you're feeling if something makes you sad.
Exactly.
Or, don't be scared. Macho. You don't have to be macho. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's our job as moms in this day and age to teach our children that that's okay to do.
And I'm gonna raise my child to just not be an asshole. It's not that hard.
Right. Dad thinks you're doing a fantastic job, just so you know.
I'm struggling, but I'm trying.
He thinks you're doing a great job.
There's some days that it just hits me that he's gone, and then I'm sad. Like Christmas was hard.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving was really hard because my dad loved to cook. Yeah. And
Did your mom make something? Bring something to Thanksgiving or cook something?
She made Thanksgiving dinner and had it with my brother and his wife. It didn't come to my house.
He's almost like being snarky about her cooking.
She doesn't fucking cook it. It probably tasted like dirt.
That's kind of what he was giving me.
Yeah.
I mean, he's saying it, not me. But he's just like, whoever cooked, and I felt more like it was your mom, like it was garbage. It's like that would have been an embarrassment.
He had it with them. And my husband cooked for us. And I made my dad a plate.
Okay.
And put his picture there at the table with us. With a bottle of Jim Beam.
He's aware of it. He's aware of that. He's very grateful that you still include him. Your brother, I'm not sure if you know it or not, but your brother doesn't do anything related to Dad. Your dad is giving me that to your brother. He doesn't exist at all anymore, ever.
I saw his urn next to Maverick's birthday cake when he had his birthday recently.
Really?
I saw his urn on the table there. But that's all I saw.
Yeah, he's just kind of like, he doesn't include them and things like that. There wasn't they did put a plate out for him for Thanksgiving.
So, again, that's my sentiment.
He appreciates it.
I had his picture hung up in my house, like.
Yeah, he definitely appreciates your sentimentality about him.
Did he mention anything about, or does he give you anything about the shoebox?
Let me see. Shoebox. I feel like the shoebox has got little things in it. And were they little things that came from the house, from your mom's house?
From everywhere.
From everywhere. But was the box in your mom's house originally when he died?
No. I
feel like he's giving that this came from there, or was it his?
It was just a plastic shoebox, and we all, my mom, my brother, me, all of us, and his best friend picked 4 or 5 favorite pictures and favorite knickknacks or things that reminded you of Dad.
Okay,
and then we all wrote little notes, took a shot of a Jim Beam shooter, sealed it in the bottle, and put it in the box.
Oh.
And sent it with him to get cremated. But I put my heart and soul into that fucking box.
I bet you did. He's aware of it. He did tell me there was little things in it. I felt like it came from where he did you do this at his house?
I did it over the course of the 3 days before he got cremated. A lot of the pictures came from the house.
Okay. That makes sense then, because it's almost like he's giving me like, no, there's things from the house inside of this box, so that makes sense then.
Yeah.
Okay.
The pictures and.
I know you say the box has been cremated with him,
Right.
but he's showing me the shoe box and he's kind of like holding it in his arm, patting it.
That's
like,
how I kept having to carry it.
Yeah.
It's fucking heavy.
He's like, yep, got the box.
It's got everything. It's got a beautiful story of his life in it. Letters from all of us.
Yeah, he's very, very happy to have you with your sentimentality. Did he ever make you feel bad for being sentimental?
Oh, never.
Never?
No.
Good. I just wonder because he seems to be so
my feelings
happy
got
about
hurt
it.
a lot as because he didn't. I felt he didn't care to spend as much time with me as he did my brother.
Mm-hmm.
Or he bought my brother his truck, my mom bought me my car. It was Dad and Derek versus Shannon and Mom, and I felt like, why am I not good enough?
Yeah.
But no, I've always been very sentimental.
That's good that he didn't make you feel like it was a problem, but he just as a man, he seems very happy that you are sentimental, which is why I asked, why does he seem
Right.
so happy that you're sentimental? Because usually men, when they give me that, is because they were very like, oh, you don't talk about your feelings, you don't do anything like that.
Before they intubated him, I played the song that we danced to at our wedding because, to me, that's something that is gonna help me.
Sure. Absolutely.
And now I go places and I hear Billy Joel and I know it's my fucking dad.
Yeah, of course.
Like, Jesus. The other day we were somewhere and there was like 3 different things that happened, and my husband picked up on all of it. He was like, your dad is here strong today.
Yeah. He's laughing. He shows out. Whenever he shows out, he shows out.
Yeah, I was just like, oh my god.
That's too funny though.
Does he know about the butterfly? Or an avocado?
Let me see. Do the butterfly and avocado go together?
No.
Okay.
Those are just 2 random things that
Okay. Let me see. Did the butterfly touch one of you?
My husband was standing outside of the hospital waiting to flag my brother down Wood Park, and there was this butterfly circling him.
Circling him?
Circling my husband. And now we all associate the butterfly with my dad.
Yeah. Has your son had a butterfly touch him?
Yeah.
Okay. He tells me that. I almost feel it's specifically the tip of the nose, but I don't
know if I saw it, but
he's like the butterfly actually landed on your son, and that's him for sure. Avocado. Let me see if I can get him to tell me the avocado thing. I don't think so. The only thing I'm seeing, and this may not be related, is an avocado like falling and rolling. That might not be it.
No, my husband's trying to grow one of my dad's avocado, and he's been babying it for over a year.
Really?
In the kitchen window, and it's almost ready to be planted. He said.
Nice.
And he's like, I gotta grow this guacamole for your dad. It's your dad's avocado. And I'm like, okay, Sean.
That's funny.
I wanted to throw it away.
Yeah.
So many times. But Sean's like, don't touch the avocado.
That's funny.
Your dad's avocado. I'm like, okay.
No, he's not showing me that. He's just mentioning it. It does seem like it was on a counter though. But an actual avocado falling off of a counter and rolling across the floor.
He probably did that. I thought it was Cameron. Cameron's reaching and touching and throwing everything in the trash, and he's into everything.
Wow. That may be something you weren't aware of. But that's the image he's giving me, is an avocado on a counter, falling into the floor and rolling.
That's so weird.
So, Even if it hasn't happened, that might happen then. With the avocado that your husband's growing.
Oh, good. What's he there on Kevin's birthday?
Let's see. Yes. Were there quite a few kids there?
There were so many fucking kids.
He's like, oh my god, my ears. He doesn't have ears, obviously, but the way he's
so
like,
many kids.
Like, whoa.
I went out. Yeah, it was a lot.
It's almost like he's like, I need a drink. There was so many kids.
Yes, and that's some shit he would say.
Yeah. Like, I need a drink.
There were a lot of kids there.
Yeah. So yes, he was there. And that's all he really has to say about that is, it's like,
Jesus Christ.
That's what he's focusing on. Like, ooh, I need a drink. Like,
yeah.
I can't be in here. There's too many kids.
Okay. Yeah, Cameron's, he's just a wrecking ball. Yeah. There's been a lot of times that he probably should have gotten seriously injured that he did not, and I know it was my dad.
Yeah.
Like, he fell out of the countertop high chair onto the tile, and he didn't get hurt. And I was like, that's my dad. My mom got in a serious car accident recently. That's my dad. I know it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. And what's interesting, whenever you mentioned your son falling off the counter thing, he literally shows me him diving to catch him. Like, diving into the floor. I mean, he's the spirit.
He literally fell from 5 feet up, waist high onto the tile.
Your dad's showing me he literally is like as if he's diving. You know how like whenever baseball players they slide into to home plate, but it was the opposite direction, not with his feet, with his hands, and just like and I caught him.
Yeah, because he cried, he wailed, obviously, he cried, but he didn't get hurt.
Yep, that was your dad. This is family over everything.
He said that one, yeah.
He's always like, don't worry about it. I've got you. I will be there, making sure everybody's okay.
I just wanted to know he was there. That he knew that I did my best.
Yes, he does.
You know, I tried everything I could.
He knows you did. He appreciates it very much so.
Okay.
Very much so.
I had closure because of the playing the song for him and knowing that I know in my heart I did right by him, like with the medical decisions, and that I'm trying to do what's best for mom to make sure mom's good, but I can't overstep as far as like the relationship with my brother and them, and I can't, she can make her own decisions, but I, did the best that I could with what I had.
Yeah. And he knows you did. He agrees with you. So no matter what anybody says, thinks, feels, no matter if they make you feel any type of way,
I don't let anyone, because I sleep peacefully at night knowing that, that's what he would have wanted.
Absolutely.
And I'm a nurse, but I could tell when it's time.
Yeah.
And though that may sound callous,
no,
I was like, what am I going to leave him on this medication for? Yeah. To delay the inevitable.
Exactly.
Okay.
Was he proud of you for being a nurse before you passed? Cause
oh my God, he told everybody.
He's going on about it now. He's like, oh, she did good. She knows what she's doing.
Well, I was helping the nurses, because I could tell they were short-staffed, and I work for the same hospital system. I was like, if I have to go get my badge from the car and clock in, I'm down for it.
Yeah.
I was like, you need help rolling? I'm here.
Right. Anything. Yeah.
He was very proud of me.
He's very proud.
And he would always post the Facebook, proud father of a nurse, things on his wall. And I was like, Dad, what are you doing?
He says, shush, let me do my thing.
Yeah, I know. And he told everybody at his work how proud he was of his daughter being a nurse. My daughter's a nurse. And blah, blah, blah.
That's cute.
I did transplant before I went to delivering babies, and liver and kidney transplants is what I did.
Did you? Wow. Yeah. He's very proud of you. Man, I want my dad to be this proud. Geesh. He's proud.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I think I turned out okay.
Yeah. He rolled your eyes at that, or his eyes at that, okay. You turned out okay, and then rolled his eyes. You turned out better than okay.
Yeah.
Did you have any more questions before you tell your mom to come?
I want to know if he knows that I reached out to his coworkers and like that I made it like an effort.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one coworker of his specifically who I called because that's the only other person my father spoke to.
He is aware, yes. Is this coworker a female?
No.
Did you speak to a female first?
I called his best friend and his best friend's wife first. Like I called multiple people to tell them that he was in the hospital and wasn't looking good, but the person who I called and told that he had already passed
That he had passed.
was someone that he had worked with previously.
I see.
They were really good friends.
Yeah, he's aware of it, and he knows that it wouldn't have. Nobody else would have cared to do that, to make the call or tell anybody anything.
My mom told me to do it.
Yeah, you made the effort.
Yeah, and I invited him to the memorial, and he came.
Good.
And he still checks on me.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, but he's just like, no one else would have put in the effort.
Okay.
Even if your mom told you to do it, she wouldn't have actually done it.
Right.
Is what he's saying.
The sunset. Does he know about the sunset?
The sunset.
Or the picture for like mom's picture.
Hold on a second here.
You might pick that up with her and not with me.
I think it might be because yeah, he seems a little bit more distant when you ask questions about mom.
Okay.
Like that.
It was a sentimental thing that I did for my mother.
Because I feel like he's showing me a picture of a sunset.
Yes.
But almost like it's on a wall and it moved.
It didn't move, but it's on the wall. It's in actually several places.
I almost see it's like it's on a wall and it kind of like shifted a little bit.
Oh, my mom would know that.
So you wouldn't even know how to answer.
It's in her house, yeah.
Okay. That's all he's really telling me about the picture and a sunset.
Yeah, it's on the back of his memorial card too.
Aww.
Yeah. He died. Can you ask him why he had to die on his birthday? Like, you really had to be that fucking cruel and twisted.
It's not funny, but it's kind of funny if you have dark humor.
That is, he does have dark humor, and that's why I'm like, that day's gonna be like happy and sad at the same time.
Right. He says, what are you gonna do? Like, he didn't choose that day.
I think he did.
You think so? He says no. He says, what are you gonna do?
I have these like literally everywhere. Everywhere.
Really?
My binder at work. So when I'm caring for my patients, I have my dad. In my car. On my nightstand. on my kitchen fridge.
Yeah, I mean, that helps you cope and,
it's just good to know he's there.
It's good. And he is with you.
Okay.
And I feel like right now he's giving subtle signs and you may be noticing them but not realizing that it's him.
I feel like I look for them more than anything, and maybe sometimes I'm making them up.
More or less what it would be is that if the harder you look or pay attention, the more likely you're not going to notice. Which might not make sense, but it's kind of how it works. Just like with mediumship, whenever I'm trying to connect, if I sit here and try too hard, I'm blocking myself. So I literally have to just let it come to me. Same thing with seeing signs from our loved ones. If you try too hard to see them, you'll miss the actual little things that are coming through because you're focusing on something bigger and grander. But don't pay attention specifically. Just notice. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Notice when things like that happen, but don't try to like, oh, is that light flickering or is that not flickering? Because then you might actually be like, oh, it looks like it's twitching just a itty bit.
Right.
But and then another time you may be like, brushing your teeth and all of a sudden the light goes, that's a light flickering.
Right.
That would be your dad. You know what I mean? So it's kind of just pay attention to when it happens, but don't overly pay attention to make it happen. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So for sure, he's with you.
And proud of me.
And very proud of you.
Very proud of me.
My goodness. I don't even know if my dad's as proud of me, because the way he gives me this pride towards you is just like, he's a happy dad. He's a very proud dad.
And a happy grandpa.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So, but he loves you. And if you're ready to, I'm not going to release him because I don't want to have to reconnect.
Right.
So I'm going to hold him here, and then while you wait for your mom to come.
Hold him hostage.
Yep, I'm going to hold him hostage.
Yeah.
The butterflies.
Yep, they're everywhere. Yeah, I got a tattoo. Sorry. Sorry, Dad.
He says that's okay. He's like, would he have not liked it when he was alive?
No.
No.
What? He has tattoos.
Oh, he does?
His tattoo was like a blob when he...
That's funny.
It wasn't even legible.
Alright, I'm going to go ahead and stop it. Oh, look at that. Whoa.